I'm Butch, and today I'm going to show you how to have the best looking ferns on the block. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. And let's get started. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is some ferns. Every year about Easter, I start looking around for the store that has the best ferns for the money. And this year I actually ended up getting them from our local grocery store, Kroger. I believe I paid $12.99 a piece for them this year. I actually purchased 3 for my use. You're going to need some sort of decorative hanger to transplant the ferns into. I purchased these several years ago from Lowe's, I believe, probably for about $10 or $12. I use them every year. And the ones that I purchased have a hook on one end that you can hook to the hanger, and the other end has an S-hook. You're going to need a basket liner for the hanger. They typically come with it when you purchase it the first time, but I've been using these for several years, so I have to purchase the liner separately, and it's about $1.99 or a couple dollars a piece. You just need to form the liner to the hanger. Next, we're going to transplant the fern into the new hanger. And of course, the first step is to remove the plastic store-bought hangers that the ferns come with. Next, you're going to gently grab the fern and tilt it so you can remove the plastic hanger and any kind of liners that may be on it as well. I also like to loosen up the root ball on the fern to give it a better chance for growth. Now place the fern in the new hanger, trying to keep it centered the best you can. You're going to need some potting soil, and usually I just try to get a high quality potting soil at a reasonable price. Using the potting soil, fill the space between the fern root ball and the hanging basket. Try to keep the fern centered in the basket, rotating the basket as needed. Make sure to compact the potting soil as you go. Also overfill the space, because once you water the fern, the dirt will settle some more. Once you finish with the potting soil, reinstall the chains on the hanging baskets. Also, if you purchased hanging baskets for the first time, you'll want to remove these chains before you start the process. Now you're ready to hang the ferns in their new baskets. I also use some extra chain when I hang the baskets because I don't like them hanging so close to the ceiling. You should be able to find this type of chain either in the lawn and garden section or the electrical aisle. Now this is the secret to having the best looking ferns on the block, and that is a drip irrigation system. You have to run an irrigation line to each fern, and you also have to route it so that the sprinkler head is down inside the fern itself. The next critical part of this system is a battery operated timer. This particular model has 2 zones, but I will only be using 1 zone for my ferns. The timer simply screws into an unused spigot. You will also need a pressure regulator to reduce the pressure from the house. Run the main irrigation line along the foundation until you get near the location of the ferns. When you get near the ferns, using an adapter, you can switch to the small irrigation line. Run the irrigation line as neatly as possible. I actually used fasteners that are made for coax cable. If you have more than 1 fern, you will need a T at each location. At the end of my line, I actually ran an irrigation line to a potted plant just off the porch. I placed 2 sprinklers in that plant. You'll have to set the timer up for how often and how long you want the sprinklers to run. I typically start off for about 5 to 7 minutes each morning until the weather starts to get warmer. Lastly, you'll want to run the timer manually and check the flow at each sprinkler head. Here's another tip that you may find handy. I'll typically take some wire, such as from a coat hanger, fashion a hook on one end to hold the sprinkler head. The other end I'll cut off and stick down into the fern root ball. This will keep the sprinkler head from moving over time. Well, that's about it, guys. If you follow these steps I've lined out for you today, you too can have the best looking ferns on the block. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you have any questions over anything I went over today, just leave me a question in the comment and I'll get back to you. And I'll see you on the next one.